Okay, real quick before we eat. Can you put your phone away? How many times have you heard that, or said it? Here's a number I couldn't stop thinking about after I heard it. 38 seconds. That's how long the average kid gets to talk. Now look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're a bad parent. That's not what this is. Because honestly, I get it. You're tired. You've got stuff going on. And that phone is designed by people whose entire job is to make sure you keep coming back to it. You're not weak. You're just human. But here's the thing that nobody really talks about. When you look down at that screen, something is already happening in your kid's brain, in that exact moment. And once you see it, you kind of can't unsee it. I'm a pediatric neuropsychologist, basically. I study how kids' brains develop. And today I want to show you what's actually going on in there. No jargon, no lecture, just the real stuff. Back in 1975, a researcher named Edward Tronick did this experiment. Really simple setup. A mom sits across from her baby. They're just hanging out. Mom's smiling, baby's babbling, doing that thing where babies try to copy your face. You know what I'm talking about. Everything's good. Then the researcher signals her, and the mom just goes blank. No smile, no reaction, nothing. Like she's staring at a wall. And the baby immediately knows something is off. First, it tries to get her back, smiles harder, waves its little arms, makes noises. Then when that doesn't work, the baby shuts down, turns away, starts to cry. And within 2 minutes, the stress hormone cortisol was measurably higher in that baby's blood. They call it the still face paradigm. It's been repeated dozens of times. Same result, every time. Now here's where I want you to make a connection. Imagine your kid is telling you something at dinner. Maybe it's about their friend. Maybe it's about something dumb that happened at recess. Who knows? And your phone buzzes, and you look down. To a young kid, especially under 5, your face just did the exact same thing that mom did in that lab. It went blank. It checked out. Your body is right there at the table. But to them, you just left. And the part of their brain that tracks whether they're safe, it noticed. So let me walk you through what's actually happening in there. 3 things, I'll keep it simple. First, the stress switch flips, and it doesn't turn off fast. Cortisol is your body's stress hormone. Most people think it only kicks in for big, scary moments. But for kids, it turns on any time they feel emotionally cut off from the people they depend on. And here's the part that got me. Kids' brains can't manage cortisol the way adult brains can. That system, the part that calms you back down, it's not fully wired up until around age 25. 25. So your kid's stress response kicks in and it just lingers. Long after you put your phone back in your pocket, their body is still quietly working through it. Every time. Second, every interruption is a word they didn't get to learn. There's a part of the brain called Broca's area. It handles language. And here's how it grows. Not from TV, not from apps, not from those little tablet games. It grows from back and forth conversation with a real person who's actually listening. Harvard researchers found that the number of real exchanges a kid has with their parent before age 3 is one of the strongest predictors of their language ability and their IQ at age 9. Not how many words they hear, how many real exchanges they get. So when dinner gets interrupted 5 to 8 times, that's somewhere between 35 and 56 of those exchanges gone every week. Just gone. Third, they're watching. And they're building a blueprint from everything they see. Kids copy what they see. That's not a choice. It's literally how their brains are wired. So when a kid grows up watching the people they love most reach for a phone whenever there's a quiet moment, they're building a mental model that says, that's what you do when things get quiet. That's what adults find more interesting. And their brain's reward system starts wiring itself around that pattern. You're not just checking your phone. You're showing them how to handle stillness, boredom, and silence. Now, none of this means one interrupted dinner ruins anything. It doesn't. Kids are pretty resilient. But here's what the research shows when this becomes the daily pattern. Kids who grow up with a lot of mealtime disconnection tend to have a harder time managing their emotions when they're older, not because anything dramatic happened, just because they didn't get enough of those small, quiet moments of being fully seen. Their attention span tends to be shorter because their brains got used to everything being interrupted every few minutes. And there's a long-term study that followed 1,400 families over 5 years and found that kids from homes with regular, phone-free dinners had noticeably lower rates of anxiety and depression when they hit their teens. The dinner table isn't just where you eat. It's one of the first places your kid learns that they matter. Not from anything you say, just from the fact that for 20 minutes, you chose to be there. Fully. Okay, enough with the heavy stuff. Let's talk about what you can actually do tonight. 3 things, simple, no perfection required. First, put the phones somewhere else. Not just face down. Actually somewhere else. There's a study on this. Having your phone on the table, even silent, even face down, still takes up mental energy. Your brain is quietly managing the temptation the whole time. So try this. Put a little bowl on the counter, and when dinner starts, phones go in. Yours first, because if you don't go first, nobody does. Give it a fun name if you want. Our family calls it the phone jail. 20 minutes. That's the whole commitment. Second, stop asking, how was your day? You already know it gets you fine every single time. Try something more specific instead, like, what was the weirdest thing that happened today? Or, did anything make you laugh? Or, if you could redo one moment from today, what would it be? These kinds of questions actually get kids talking. And when they talk and you respond, that's exactly the kind of exchange that builds their brain. Boring science fact, genuinely good outcome. Third, when you mess up, and you will, just say something. Because here's the truth. You're going to look at your phone at dinner, probably tonight. I still do sometimes. That's not the problem. The problem is drifting back in like nothing happened because your kid noticed. And when there's silence after, the message they get is, I guess that's just how it is. So here's all you have to do. When you catch yourself, put the phone down, look at them, and say, hey, sorry, I zoned out for a sec. What were you saying? That's it. 7 words. And research shows that kids whose parents repair these small moments of disconnection actually end up more emotionally resilient than kids who never experience any bumps at all, because the repair teaches them that when someone leaves, they come back. That relationships can handle imperfection. That's not a small thing to learn. Before I let you go, you watched this. That means something. We're all figuring this out in real time. Nobody had a manual for raising kids in the age of smartphones. So be easy on yourself. But tonight, try the bowl thing. Ask a weird question at dinner. And if you zone out and reach for your phone, Just come back and say something. 20 minutes of actually being there. That's the whole thing. If this hit home, send it to another parent. No message needed. Just forward it. Sometimes a quiet nudge from someone who gets it is all any of us need. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.